One of the roles that leaders need to be aware of is they're standing in the breach for the people. Oh, the leaders love to get mad at the people and have disdain for the people and want to just hopefully, you know, some of the leaders be happy if Yahweh said, why don't I just wipe them out? And they'd be like, amen, amen. But no, Moshe showed us that it's not that way. Moses says, no, 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 kill me, don't kill them. He took responsibility. But we are supposed to be learning from the examples. That's what Paul tells us, that all these things were written for as an example for us so we can learn from them. And so we're supposed to say, okay, when they did well, I can learn from that. When they didn't, I can also learn from that. So I can do what did well and avoid what didn't. So that we should not generationally, I don't want to say the word generational curse so much, as the generational cursing really is the imitating and repeating of what you see the previous generation doing. Don't you think that people who study the word, by the time they get to the Psalms, if they started in Genesis, already saw all this? How many of the Psalms remind you of the events leading up to the psalmist writing at that moment? It goes through the beginning, then usually even some of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then it goes through Moses. It goes through different things just to show you how we ended up here. I don't know how many Psalms. Probably a good third or more of them do that. And yet some of us will be sitting there going, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Never, never, never look at the word as blah, 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 blah. How can the mainstream of Christianity tell you the law was done away with when it's your deeds? What's another word for deeds? Works. The works provoked him. By the same token, the right works make him pleased. We're told to figure out and understand what is well-pleasing in his sight. He said they provoked him, not with their attitude necessarily, not with, their thoughts, but as they manifested into deeds. Their actions. How many of you empathize with Moses when you read that story? Okay, and seeing how mad he got, how he lost his temper. How many of you would have felt guilty and terrible if you were ones who were there that caused him to lose his temper? So why do we do what we do to other leaders? You don't think you're wearing them out? You don't think you're getting them to the point where that we're going to Yahweh saying, if I've done anything that's, favorable in your sight, please kill me, because I'm about to go kill somebody? Because that's what Moses was doing. Moses was like, I am about to go let loose on somebody. Please just kill me so I don't see my sin. If you want to ask me, one of the worst things that the mainstream system out there does to people is that system pretty much wipes out, if not totally diminishes to almost wiped out, personal responsibility. Here he's telling you they became unclean by their own works, and they went whoring by their own deeds. They made their own choices. Nobody made them do anything. Oh, the devil made me do it. Stop that. Ear tickling is not just saying nice, wonderful things. No, it's saying what you would like to hear. Even if it's saying something not nice, but it's what you wanted to hear. You wanted somebody to tell you something was wrong, even if it might not be wrong. But it's looking for someone that's going to agree with you is basically what I'm saying. Ear tickling is saying stuff that agrees with people or that can't possibly offend anybody because it's so commonly neutral to everybody. One of the parents might be, one of the husband or wife might be saying, well, the children don't listen. And the other spouse goes, well, you don't listen. Or Yahweh may look down and say, well, you don't listen. So no wonder your children don't listen. Maybe it's an imitated behavioral pattern and not just that they randomly have this problem. What example are we setting? What are we doing to show them what it looks like to listen, to show respect, to give honor? But what covenant is he remembering? Is he remembering Exodus 19? Or is he remembering the covenant of the pieces, the things he promised Abraham? See, this is not remembering Exodus 19, when he's remembering, if you do what I say, I will take care of everything else, because they're not doing what he said. He said, but I remembered my covenant for their sake and relented. The covenant was the promises he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the covenant he's remembering here. Sometimes you need to remember who is the, I don't want to say the audience, but who is this happening among? He's telling you this is not just praising him among the Gentiles, because a lot of us think we need to go stand on corners and praise Yah and give out tracts. He's saying, no, praise inside the body, we need this. Praise Yah in the company of the straight in the congregation. Because if I'm praising Yah and you need to hear that, what a blessing that is to you if you now needed to hear that so you get your mind turned back around. The people, unfortunately, who put the system together that you were all a part of at one point, didn't spend a whole lot of time understanding how the flow goes from Genesis to Matthew. They just start in Matthew or John or Romans or some other place, Galatians. They forget that everything contextually has to fit in with what already came previously. That's why he did not just start at verse 28 in Psalm 106, because you needed to remember what happened in the first 26 verses before we got there, 27 verses before we got there. Context.